Nick speaking, and welcome to this battle report. Right, we are playing Necrons versus Tyranids, and we are playing Aceface today. So say hello, Ace.
Hi guys.
And we've already set up. It takes about 2 hours to set up, but we are finally ready to go. So this is a 3,000 point battle report, and we rolled off. We're playing the Relic, so we've got that flashing light in the middle. That's what we're going to try and fight over. So I've got the Flayed One Decorium tonight. I've infiltrated 60 Flayed Ones, 3 groups of 20. I have 2 Canoptic Harvests, 6 Wraiths, 7 Scarabs and a Tomb Spider there, and exactly the same over here. This Tomb Spider's got a Gloom Prism. I then have 40 Warriors, 10 there, 10 there, 10 there and 10 there. The obligatory Tomb Blades, and then I have some Immortals, and I have Trazin, the HQ unit. Okay, and over here we have some rather big Tyranids. What have we got, Ace?
So leading the army is Swarmlord at the back here, hiding, hardly see him. And then in the 2 other HQ slots I've got 2 Flying Hive Tyrants, both with Twin Link Devourers and the Electro Grubs Flamers. As I'm playing the Leviathan detachment, which I get 3 HQs. I then have in Troops Choice, I have Tervagon with Tervagon Tax. He also has the Moors Cannon for a little bit of extra. I then can't really miss Tiny in the middle. Tiny the Bio Titan, and Tiny has his standard Bio Cannons, but he also has the Apocalyptic Barrage Spore Mine upgrade as well for a bit of extra kick. I have a Void Shield Generator Relay, so 3 levels in the centre and then 2 singles on the outside. I have a Mucilid Spore also as a troop choice, and a Malum Throat as well, just in case it drops, and I have some nice Shrouded there. In reserve I have 2 Dimmacarons or Daves in Tyrannocytes. Both the Tyrannocytes have got Barb Stranglers, and that's my 3,000 points.
That's it, wow. And Tiny looks awesome, by the way, absolutely brilliant. Okay, so this is it then. I am currently going first, so we're going to see. Are you going to have a go at season initiative?
Why not?
Why not? Here we go. Ooh, nearly A5. Okay, so it's going to be Necrons turn 1. Okay, so that was my turn 1. Generated a Scarab on each unit. I did take a wound on that Tomb Spider there. I then shuffled everything forward. The Wraiths went straight out onto the Relic, so I've managed to pick that up. I then shot the pylon over at Tiny, obviously hitting the shield generators first. Didn't roll that great, but I did manage to get 1 shield down. There's 5 shields there in total. And then I managed to take another shield with these 4 warriors here just shooting in. So 3 more shields left to go, and now it's Tyranid turn 1. Okay, so that was turn 1 for the Tyranids, and I think I got off slightly lightly there actually, to be fair. Let's start off with the big action, which was Tiny. Shots the multiple blast thing. What's it called?
The Spore Mine Apocalyptic Barrage.
Okay, one of the big apocalyptic things, which went on here. This massive bunch here, loads and loads of wounds coming in. I saved everything, not 1 person died. And then he shot the other big gun at my pylon, and I only took 1 whole point. So I was very happy with that result. But there's still some more turns to come. Otherwise, basically everything here moved forward, including the Flyrants. They're still within the shield. I lost 5 Flayed Ones here and 2 Flayed Ones there from the Devourers and from these, yeah, the little Borers. At the end of the turn they regenerated 1 of the shields, back up to 4 shields, and that was pretty much it. So it's going to be my turn 2 now. Okay, so that was my turn 2. I tried my best to take those shields out. I moved the 2 squads of warriors up, managed to get some rapid firing on the Gants that were there. But I couldn't roll any 6s to try and get that shield down. I only took down 2 of the 5 shields that was left, Over here, I just had 2 Tomb Blades in, but I didn't get any 6s because they could only reach the Flyrants, and I needed obviously 6s to get the bullets out. But I have got the shield down to 2. The pylon shot in and took 1 more shield off. Again, I rolled pretty poor there. Can't get the bullets out with the pylon, but the shield's down to 2 anyway. I did manage to get the flayed ones into the assault with the Gants there, and I caused 41 wounds. How about that? So took out the unit for first blood, which is quite useful. Everything else basically just moved around. I generated 2 more scarabs, gave RP to their harvests. I moved the wraiths back, and I just surrounded it basically, just bubble wrapped it a bit, because we have some pods coming, and with Swarm Lord they're going to be coming out on a 2+. So let's see if they both come out. These have got the Democurians in, and just 1 coming out. Okay, so it's going to be Tyranid turn 2. Okay, so that was turn 2 for the Tyranids, and as you can see by this flames here, my pylon has gone. Lots of wounds coming through. Didn't quite make all of the vulnerable saves that I needed, so that lost exploded. Luckily for me, the scatter meant that I didn't take any wounds from the catastrophic explosion. So that was that. That was obviously from Tiny, of course. Over here had 2 horrors from the Flyrants who landed, and I was pinned on both of my warrior squads. The Dave, Democurian, whatever it's called, came down here. He moved back within the shield. The pod shot my flayed ones here. I lost 2 from the pod. And then everything else around this area shot my flayed ones there. I'm down to 2. The Tervagon, he spawned 5 Gants, and then he's constipated, so no more coming from him. And that was pretty much it. So we are now looking at turn 3 for the Necrons. Okay, so that was Necrons turn 3, and with the pylon gone, we obviously took that off the board as it was supposed to have been done. I had a big hole there, so I filled that with the tomb spiders. I gave RP onto the harvests, generated another couple of scarabs. This tomb spider's down to 1 wound now, lost another wound. Moved the immortals up to help fill that gap as well, and just budged these around here. The tomb blades moved up, tried to shoot Dave, tried to get through the shield. I managed to take 1 more generator thing off. This is down to 2. I did assault the flayed ones into the pod. I managed to destroy the pod, and then I've put the wraiths into the hive tyrant there, and I managed to take 2 wounds off. I didn't lose any wounds in the assault back, so we're just locked in combat. I could only snapshot. I tried snapshotting the shield, but failed. And that's it. So we're on to turn 3 for the Tyranids. 1 more pod to come in. Let's see if they come out. So on a 2+, they do this time. Okay, Tyranids turn 3. Okay, so that was turn 3 for the Tyranids. They started basically moving up here, and also the pod came down over here with Dave. They got out. In the shooting phase, the pod shot here, took a few of my flayed ones out and a couple of scarabs. The Hierophant shot his massive gun over here as well, but didn't do any damage. But the blast template did manage to do quite a bit of damage here, took out a few from each of the units except for the Wraiths, holding strong with no wounds. The Hive Flyrant and also Dave, they went and assaulted my flayed ones. There's about 6 left and they're currently running. They just consolidated there. The Wraiths here managed to take out the Flyrants. It was on 1 wound after it perilled. And then over here my flayed one is just hiding out trying to get line breaker. I did have 2 but 1 died. And that's it. So now we're looking at Necrons turn 4. Okay, so that was my turn 4. Moved the Wraiths back here with the relic, went into that building. moved up the warriors and the immortals so that I was in shooting range. I moved these flayed ones back to this middle area, just trying to protect the relic a bit. The wraiths that were free went over to assault Dave, and then the scarabs here I gave reanimation protocol, and I went up to assault the Flyrant. So I did all my shooting. I really didn't do any damage from the warriors, just one wound over on Dave there. And it went basically into the assault phase. So I took the scarabs over to the pod. We did no damage each. I took the scarabs over into the Flyrant. Managed to get a few wounds, one wound off of him, so he's down to one wound. And then the wraith went over. I did lose a wraith in the assault, the first wraith that's died, but Ace got really unlucky with his saves, and he got, I think, 4 ones. So Dave is down to 1 wound at the moment, and then that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's what's happened. Okay, so we're looking now at Tyranid turn 4. Okay, so that was Tyranid turn 4. So Dave moved up over that terrain and assaulted my scarabs. I lost 1 base, but we're just locked in combat there. The flayed ones had the horror on them, and I failed the leadership, so they are currently pinned. Over here, the Flyrant held up in combat with his last wound, killed a couple of scarab bases, but we're just locked in combat. This other Dave here, I lost a wraith and a wound on a wraith. I did get some wounds on him, but he managed to save everything with the feel no pain. So he's there on 1 wound still. And then the story of Tiny. So he used the Monster Hunter rule from Swarmlord, tried to take out my 2 Tomb Spiders, managed to take this one out, failed to take this one out down to the RP roll that I had. He then used that big blast template thing to try and target my flayed one so he could assault them and slingshots on. But actually when he put the big blast template down, it was going over some of the other models in the assault, so he couldn't shoot it. So Tiny is still standing there at the back, which is very useful for me. And it's now my turn 5. So turn 5 for the Necrons. Okay, so that was turn 5 for the Necrons. So I continue to move backwards with the relic, with the immortals here. Bunched up the 2 squads of warriors in front of them. Got the 3rd squad of warrior just over there. I sent the wraiths into the Democaren. Obviously there's no reanimation protocol for them now because the spider's gone. The flayed ones couldn't do anything because they were pinned. The Tomb Blades moved over here. They shot Tiny and they wounded. And this is actually the first time Ace has played him, so I've got the first ever wound on him. My claim to fame. The wraiths that were here, the flayed ones that were here, they assaulted the Democaren, and as you can see, he's gone. So I managed to kill him. I consolidated 6 inches both units, and I took them both over here, just trying to help stop any shenanigans from the Tiny doing his slingshot move. I moved these warriors back here. We had the assault here with the Swarmlord. I lost a base, I didn't do any wounds, he's just on 1 wound still. And then over this side, the wraiths did quite well, actually took the Democaren down to 1 wound, he did survive on 1 wound, and the pod's on 1 wound as well. And then right over in the corner, my little hero here, he's locked in combat, this one Termagant. Okay, so that was turn 5 for me. It's now Tyranids turn 5. Okay, so that was turn 5 there for the Tyranids. Right, Tiny moved up. He shot the biocannon at the spider, managed to take that out. And then he shot those big blast template things. Tried to target the guy here on the relic. Scattered off over this way. 2 of the blasts were off, so didn't do any damage. I finally managed to kill 1 immortal, but that was all. The flayed ones are pinned from the Flyrant. The scarabs managed to take the Flyrant's last wound off, consolidated. And also the wraiths here took the last wound of the Dave, and they consolidated up over there. In the meantime, over here, the Tervigon shot over at the flayed ones, but got all of my RPs. I managed to kill off that Termagant, he's there. And then Tiny went in and assaulted the wraiths. He did no wounds, and then I tried to wound back. I did no wounds. So we're just locked in combat. And that is it. So we are going to roll off, see if the game continues. A 5, yep, game goes on. Okay, so that was Necron turn 6. So I moved all of the units here backwards. Moved the guy with the relic backwards. And then the flayed ones couldn't do anything because they were pinned. The scarabs here managed to take the last wound off of the pod, so that was gone. I took the scarabs over into the assaults here. I was trying to hold up Tiny if I could, try to stop him from shooting. But he killed the scarabs and the wraiths, mainly from stomp attacks. He rolled some 6s on the stomp attacks. The Tomb Blades moved out here, tried to shoot the Swarm Lord, didn't do any damage. The wraiths, the flayed ones, they moved and then only ran 1 inch, but behind that building over there. And that was it. So we are now into turn 6 for the Tyranids. Okay, so that was Tyranids turn 6. So Tiny moved up, and basically it was all about the relic here. Tiny shot at me, did quite a number of hits over me, didn't scatter, but I managed to save everything. And then he assaulted the wraiths. Obviously he shot the wraiths first. I managed to stay locked in combat with 1 wraith thanks to some pretty poor rolling on the stomp attacks. Over here, Swarm Lord, he tried to shoot Warp Blast at me. He managed to get Warp Blast off, but he did take a Perils, so he's down 1 wound. Tried to assault me, but was out of assault range, so that is still Line Breaker over there. But over here, finally, this single flayed one died from the flamer, I think it was. No, it was from the gun, wasn't it?
Yeah, the spines.
Spines, yeah. So, yeah, that's it. As it stands, if the game ends, I'm on the relic here. I've got First Blood and Line Breaker. And Tyranids, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go for it. Here we go. Let's see if the game goes on. 5, game goes on. The last turn, turn 7. Right, that's it then, game is over. So we both had our turn 7s. My main objective was to stop Tiny from shooting me with the relic. So I basically assaulted with everything that I could. I assaulted with the flayed ones, with the Tomb Blades at the back there, with the scarabs here. The wraith was already in assault. The only other thing I did is I moved those flayed ones over there for Line Breaker. Then we did the assault. I didn't do too bad then actually, because Tiny whiffed on all of its stomps attacks and everything. But then it was Tyranid turn, and Swarm Lord went in. That Manithropes, yeah, went in as well. The flayed ones here are running. Tomb Blades running. Just 1 left. The scarabs are locked in combat still though. And that's it. So I have the relic and a Line Breaker and First Blood. And Tyranids unfortunately have nothing. But it was a really great game, and we've taken a good number of hours to play this game actually, but it's been a great day. So I really hope you enjoyed the battle reports, and of course go and check out Ace's channel. I shall put a link in the description below, and have a look at this game from the other point of view. Okay, that's it from me. Thanks for watching.